Hi, my name is Daniel Sarah Karasik. I am the author of Disobedience, a novel that Book Hug Press will publish on May 21st, 2024, this year. I describe Disobedience as a queer and trans prison abolitionist work of speculative fiction that looks specifically at how carceral or otherwise violent institutions shape our consciousness and how consciousness can be transformed, or our lives can be transformed in liberatory ways instead. It tells the story of Shale, who's a young trans feminine person who lives in a vast prison camp that's developed in the centuries after war and environmental devastation have made most of the planet uninhabitable. And at the beginning of the novel, Shale's lover, who's an insurrectionary activist or radical named Ko, offers Shale a chance to escape the camp. Tells Shale that a group of escapees has established a settlement in an otherwise deserted nearby region. The settlement is supported by dissidents among the ruling elite that presides over the camp. And this settlement is the site of various kinds of experiments in organizing desire and administering justice in ways that forge alternatives to the violent repression of the camp. But it becomes clear that there are some deep challenges in creating these alternatives or sustaining these alternatives when everybody involved has been shaped profoundly by the violence of the camp that they've escaped from. So I see the novel as a kind of comradely invitation to think and feel together through some social and political questions that I find very important and also really difficult to figure out how to answer in a sort of productive, sustainable, just way. Questions that I find can benefit from a sort of dialectical or dialogical approach that novels can offer, or that fiction can offer, coming at them from many different sides and trying to do justice to the many different sides of them, as opposed to maybe a more sort of like argumentative, essayistic approach. Questions such as, for example, how should a community that's dedicated to liberation or a social movement address serious like intra-communal or intra-movement conflict? How can we redress harm or error in ways that don't reproduce unaccountable forms of violence? What does healing look like in a context of ongoing crisis? And maybe most deeply, how should we think about violence in general as a part of liberation struggle without romanticizing it or whitewashing it or dismissing it, but really grappling with it and its sort of many faces and sides and what to do with it, or what to do with the question of it. I'm also excited to share a novel with a non-binary trans feminine protagonist that offers an account of their specific experiences of gender and desire and how those interact with the broader revolutionary processes that they're enmeshed with. And ultimately, I think the book is an offering to others who struggle with those same questions, or who struggle with similar questions, or really anybody who is invested in the question of how social movements and social change organizations oriented towards emancipation or liberation can flourish and not get sort of undermined by the kinds of difficulties that tend to afflict social movements for liberation. So yeah, I see it as a novel that's meant, first of all, as a call to comrades, actual or potential. And I hope it's also a page turner that can give pleasure to a wide range of readers to really try to expand that category of potential comrades as much as possible. So I will read a really quick short excerpt. It's just really a paragraph that goes, "A dream of smashed surveillance beacons in the foothills of the mountain, sensors in pieces, coils and springs and hunks of steel lying scattered across the earth, messages etched in sun-scorched blood on nearby rocks, threats of insurrection. You will not know peace as long as you keep our kin in cages." But no prisoner could have traveled to the foothills to write those words. Every Flint participant knows that such things are impossible. Every child pressed to their family villa's windows, gazing at the explorers, knows it. No life exists or can exist in the vast region beyond the mountains and the camp, the dead zone, unbroken desolation till the start of Magent lands. How could it? Shale surfaces from sleep to the sound of the mountainer's solicitousness. I can leave you on your own for a while, or I can stay with you, whatever suits you. Big thanks to everybody at all the hardworking folks at Book Hug Press. You can pre-order Disobedience from bookhugpress.ca or from your favorite independent local bookstore. Thanks so much for watching this.